Hell, you just went through a countdown. Why are you going through another countdown? That's dumb. But anyway, no need for a double countdown, right? Let's just get to it. Hit the like button, everybody. It's your boy Carcito. Y'all know who it is. Don't forget, if you want to send a cash app and ask me questions, you can. I've already asked Byron, answered him. Definitely, we appreciate all the love and support. The like button is there. It's free. Please hit the like button. I know you guys get in here a little late and don't know sometimes, and you just slip your mind. But please hit the like button. It's important to everything that we got going. And let's get to it. Now, we've been covering this thing because it keeps blowing up and new things are blowing up in development. Now, Joy Taylor is someone who was put on a pedestal, seemed like when she got to Fox Sports 1. And she just came out of nowhere. She was a pretty face and she's very likable. When she first came there, she had this young, attitude, and she was gifted things. And she was put in a position, to do something, like Skip Bayless had to okay, her to be on the show. And there was some times that Skip was going to replace her. So that's why she was always aware that Skip could have her fired. So she was always side with Skip over Shannon a lot of the times on the show. He would, I told you they two peas in the pot. Because Jenny Taft had took over the show and started doing the show after they were going through a carousel of trying to find out who was going to replace Joy when Joy left. My video did about 400,000 views almost, telling the whole world why she left. I was one of the people that was privy to her leaving the show before she actually left. I would say thank you, Joy Taylor, on Instagram, and people didn't know what the hell I was talking about. So we covered and went through all of that. Right? So knowing this, Jason Whitlock and Marcellus Wiley had a show together, Speak for Yourself. Used to be the name of the show before they changed it to Speak once they got rid of Whitlock. Now, Whitlock, they really, he was very controversial on the show, caused a lot of waves. But Fox is like, okay, he's a conservative right-wing black guy. So, yeah, he fits perfect. We don't want to get rid of him, but he started talking like, I want $20 million. And they were like, all right, well, you delusional. So once he started talking outrageous re-signing numbers, they said, well, you can go. And then he went to go bet on himself, which I was like, okay, I can respect that. If you're going to leave and go, bet on yourself to go do it, no problem. Now, here's where the situation comes in and gets a little weird. It gets weird because now you have a narrative that you have that are backed by other people who are in the same arena as you. So what they're planning on doing, they're not going to even tell you how that procedure is going to work. All they're doing is making money off of your suffering. No matter what's going on, they're making the money. So while they're there at the company, and 2016 is the biggest turnaround year for them because that was when Undisputed was coming. That's when First Things First was going to be starting to be developed, and all of this, they're getting ready to compete against ESPN. And they were hiring all the old ESPN talent that was let go and fired and relieved of duty. They were all running to Fox. Fox had the bag. Jerry Horowitz was like, I'm bringing all y'all over here. Rob Parker, all those guys. So Whitlock was there. Oh, my God. did Whitlock say some things? And I gotta let y'all hear what he said. It is hilarious, and that's how you know I can't take the guy seriously now. But let's listen to what he says.
Stories that Nusheen's talking about in this lawsuit, they were widespread and prevalent in 2016. Everybody across Fox Sports thought and gossiped about Joy Taylor and Charlie Dixon. Again, I heard the same talk as everyone else. My name was Bennett. I wasn't in it. But what's alleged in this lawsuit about Joy Taylor and her sleeping with Charlie Dixon and her telling Nusheen and others that she will control Charlie Dixon and that she will say that he harassed her if he ever gets out of line. That was a common play. That was a common tactic by women in sports media.
Now, first off, let me say, shouts out to Self Talk for putting the edit thing in there. This dude is lying. It wasn't prevalent that she was sleeping with Charlie Dixon. That is not true. Nobody in Fox Sports and nobody was talking about her and Charlie Dixon. Because if the talk about her and Charlie was going around, as you said, when you were there, how did you know that was prevalent? Oh, everybody knew that. Everybody did not know that. That's why it became more of a surprise to hear Charlie Dixon's name was named when it came out. But it made sense. And that's the thing. It made sense, but don't lie, Whitlock. No, there's no need. He also said some funny stuff later on too, but that was the funniest thing of the day. But this just lets you know he will say anything for entertainment value. You can't trust a lot of the stuff he says because a lot of it is lies. He will steal from others and take credit for it as if it came from him directly. That's why I have no respect for him in a lot of different ways. We might agree on certain things down the road, but your integrity is everything. And when someone shows you they don't have any integrity, how can you work with them? I can't even really sit down and conversate with you, dog, because you don't have any integrity. If you had any ounce or inkling of integrity, we could probably have a conversation, but you don't. So now it comes to Marcellus Wiley, his former compadre that he used to work with. And Marcellus is a man that comes from truth. And let's listen to what he has to say.
Also says she slept with Emmanuel Acho in hopes and efforts to get a show with him.
Sports media.
Okay. Also says she slept with Emmanuel Acho in hopes and efforts to get a show with him. Well, the most damning part about that is that actually happens. They got a show together. Coincidence? Or causality? Listen to me. I never heard that Charlie Dixon and Joy Taylor were sleeping together. But upon hearing that, I'm not going to lie to y'all. It makes a lot of things make sense. It unlocks a lot for me.
What it unlocks for him, in my opinion, Marcellus Wiley would have to tell you what it unlocks for him. But if that was the case and what this woman is saying is true, it would unlock a lot of factors on how fast Joy Taylor was able to advance and seem to move ahead of a lot of people and get her own show. And everybody's like, wow, she's got her own show now. She's doing this. She's doing all these things for Fox. And she just gets on the show with Colin Cowherd. And that's just pretty weird how she was able to move up. And that was strange. So it was an opportunity, and that was that. No, Marcellus Wiley was not told by Emmanuel Acho that Acho was going to get his own show. He wanted his own thing. So he was basically blindsided by it. And he wouldn't have no complaints about it. It's just that, like, he had a chance to really do his show over there. Like, Fox Sports 1 could have brought him back. But he's happy where he's doing what he's doing right now. It wasn't going to work out going over there. You got a schedule to keep. This was more better for Marcellus Wiley to do it this way. I wish he had a show where he had guests on there more frequently, but he shines because he always comes from a degree of the truth. And when you come from a degree of the truth, you're not going to fail.
Sleeping with Emmanuel Acho, I've heard that before, multiple times. Recent as a week or two ago. Part of the reason it was suggested that they do a show together was because of these allegations in the lawsuit that they were sleeping together, conspiring to get that to go. Conspiring with Charlie, conspiring with Emmanuel Acho. Let's make this work. What is crazier is how they split apart, do it different shows. You can say, well, Skip is fired, which is a part of this lawsuit as well. I mean, this is crazy. That's why I say I'm going to systematically break this thing down. They split apart different shows. Why did they go on different shows, they say? Relationship went sour.
And Skip Bayless is in hot water when it comes to this lawsuit. Shannon Sharpe is okay, but his name was mentioned because Skip Bayless.
Let's talk about what Marcellus had to say about it, because I feel that was more prevalent. Skip Bayless part, well, that's just lingering there, but let's focus on the main ingredients here. As Joy Taylor is the one that's going to be talked about the most because she actually had involvement with the woman. She brought the woman in. And because she brought the woman in and got there, she was with Joy more than she was with anybody else. She was cutting Skip's hair and doing Undisputed, but spent the majority of her time with Joy Taylor, not just at Fox Sports 1, but outside of Fox Sports 1. So if Joy was going somewhere, she would have her do her hair and they would go out and Joy would let her tag along. So she was actually privy to these meetings and privy to this guy. So before Undisputed got started, a lot of people would believe, okay, she was sleeping with the creative content guy, Charlie Dixon. And it would make a lot of sense how she basically was an unknown who came out of nowhere and got such a big opportunity on the flagship show of Fox Sports 1 when it first kicked off with an unknown as the moderator. Now, what Marcellus Wiley is talking about with Emmanuel Acho, I heard that and I'm sitting on my couch. I'm serious. Because I was a fan of Fox Sports 1 and their programming. So most of the guys who came over from ESPN, my videos at that time, 6-7 years ago, were way more popular than they are now without, there was no sabotage yet against me. So those videos were very prevalent. And I was basically doing free PR for them because I was pro Skip and Shannon in the show. So they would love to see my videos out there promoting the show. When Emmanuel Acho came on, when they had Speak for Yourself and all of these things, I never liked him. I mean, Marcellus Wiley is the guy I used to like when I watched the show. I didn't like Whitlock, and I didn't like Emmanuel Ocho. I felt like he was too arrogant, too full of himself, and he had to be right no matter what. I just couldn't stand him. So that's just how I viewed him. I never viewed him as anything. Now, when they started with Speak for Yourself and had Shady McCoy on there, I heard Shady McCoy and Joy had things going on. That's what I was hearing. And to me, that was making more sense. Emmanuel Ocho, they was like, oh, they can't stand each other. And they were spreading that dynamic, like having them on there because those two don't really, they're going to clash. And so having them there meant that was going to be a scenario where those two were going to be like two, negative, positive posts. Who's going to win, the male point of view versus the feminine point of view, and who's going to win this battle? Everybody gets to speak. So anyway, that ended up becoming three guys teaming up on one. And Shady was the one always catering to her. No, Joy's right. We got to listen to Joy. And everybody be, what? Hell you talking about? So it would go left every time. Now, truth be told, everyone can see the direction and how this is moving. And in this direction, you see the dynamic switch, and that this lawsuit was pending and coming. And when they got rid of Skip Bayless and said, okay, undisputed, everybody contract, well, the contract with the show was up. So they said, all right, the show is up. It's done. It's ending. This is the last episode of, Undisputed. And they started to do a tribute and all of that. Skip didn't want to do it. Skip didn't want to thank anybody on the show. He didn't want to thank none of the people, none of that. He said, I'm out. Dude said, I'm out. I don't want nothing to do with this. I'm done. So once that happened, it was already over. I mean, already over. The moment they went through those progressions, it was already over. Skip was getting walked out to the car, whatever. She left, apparently. But when Skip left Fox Sports 1, it wasn't in good terms with Fox Sports 1. He did his podcast show or whatever, his Skip Bayless show, and was basically saying, thank you to the people. He saved that for his podcast show. He didn't want to do anything on television. He didn't want a cake. He didn't want anything. He just wanted to get up out of there. It's done. So they informed him when he came back that basically the show was going to be done. They didn't like the way Skip Bayless held the company hostage. I mean, by trying to find a person and reinventing the show in the middle of the season, they lost all that momentum. And in the course of that, Shannon Sharp is going over to ESPN, and they stealing all of our viewership. And that's how Fox is looking. Instead of them running a caravan on Undisputed until they found a replacement. Skip didn't want that. They tried Shady McCoy. He didn't work. And Emmanuel Ocho with Skip, that wasn't going to work because Emmanuel Ocho, Skip just felt, I can't. He's too ambitious. So he didn't want to work with anybody that was that ambitious. But Sean McCoy, who, Charlie Dixon likes and pushed on him, and he pushed Emmanuel Ocho, another guy he likes, pushed both of those guys in there. And everybody who Skip suggested, Charlie Dixon and Eric didn't really agree with. Eric Shanks really runs the show from a dynamic of the business. Charlie's more the showrunner, like on the floor. You can talk to him. Eric, you can, but it's mostly Charlie, the guy that's hands-on with everything when it comes to the daytime programming on Fox Sports 1. So it became very hard for people to do their jobs and be professional and move forward with all of this distraction going on. So when Skip's gone, they already know what they're going to do. They're going to create a show to replace that show. But that hairdresser lawsuit starts, what she said, starts to make sense now. Because now you have a bigger situation on the table. The bigger situation that's on the table is the fact that now Emmanuel Ocho and her, Joy Taylor, sleeping together would be such a big scandal in a lawsuit. We got to keep them two separate. So now they're going to both have their own shows. So now they'll both be satisfied. Emmanuel Ocho has his own show, and we'll just switch the guys around. We'll keep Joy on Speak and take all the guys that was on Speak and move them and make a show and give her the guys that was left over from Skip Bayless's Undisputed, just roll them over to Speak, and that's the show. Emmanuel Ocho liked working with his guys, but Joy Taylor, she needed her own show. So now the lawsuit, those two are not together. Imagine if the lawsuit came out and they both was working together. That would still look a little weird. When she was co-host of the show. So now she's the host of Speak. It's her show. And everybody else that's on the show is basically there. Keyshawn really runs the show. Paul Pierce and Playmaker, they just chime in. Playmaker's only there on like Mondays, and he does a couple of segments, and then he's done. Paul Pierce is on there with Keith, and those two are basically the show. And Joy Taylor just mumbles a couple of things and join in every now and then. But she's not the commanding voice of the show. And today, they had to do a little pick-me-up for Joy. Oh, it's going to change a lot. This whole dynamic is going to change. That hairdresser messed up everything for this woman. That hairdresser came in and messed everything up. And they thought that hairdresser would have no power and her words would mean nothing and they could just ignore it and it'll all go away. That hasn't been the case. And now people are finding out that these different elements are all I could tell you is This is going to be crazy when it all plays out. Well, when everybody say maybe I'm crazy, maybe I'm this, maybe I'm that, maybe they are. Maybe they are nuts. Maybe everyone is got things wrong. Yeah, Raw on Netflix seemed weird, but he was there with Topanga. Yeah, those were the days. No, I never. That's the thing that's crazy about it. Nobody cared. Nobody cared about Joy Taylor like that until I started making those videos and talking about Jordan. People start pointing it out. Yeah, this Joy Taylor. But nobody really cared. I knew that it would come to a viral moment. But the most damning part, or alarming part about the situation that I think people didn't understand or grasp is the fact that she said she would claim that he sexually assaulted her if he tries to fire her. Like she was prepared if he tried to eviscerate her or fire her. And that's the part that get men up in arms. Because to say that in a lawsuit about somebody as powerful as Charlie Dixon, you're about to open up a can of worms that nobody won't reveal. Well, we gotta understand these dynamics all keep coming into play. These dynamics come into play because you're dealing with somebody who don't understand any of it. Nobody cared about Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless tried to pay 1.2. Oh, they were like, oh, that's a lie. Nah, she tripping. Joy Taylor was sleeping with the man, and now this is starting to make some sense. She said she was gonna gonna have sexual harassment charges. What? The 5 who that did what? It's all about a dynamic of what we're talking about doing today. And nobody's doing what needs to be done today. Man, I'm telling you, man, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. But right now, it's at the peak worse it could be. The absolute peak worse. So, oh yeah, I almost forgot. We got to talk about what Whitlock said.
Harsh opinions of Joy Taylor. She's not someone that I didn't get along with. I basically, for the most part, just kept my distance from Joy Taylor. And I kept my distance, not because I didn't like her, it's just because I knew myself. I know myself. I know what I'm capable of. And that big rack of hers that she showed off constantly. It's just, and that peanut butter skin with that big rack. Like, Jay, keep your distance. That's going to get you into trouble. And so that's what I did. I kept my distance. Because when you put some woman in a job, talking sports with a bunch of men, it's a job she's not qualified for. She's talking sports with professional athletes, people that did it at the highest level. She's talking sports with me or Colin Cowherd or other people that have really studied sports at a super high level. What does she have to offer other than her sex appeal? And so,
well, Whitlock, in his sexist ways, don't realize Joy Taylor actually plays sports also. She played basketball, she played football, so she's been in a team. She knows what she could do from a female's perspective. So what you're basically saying is females shouldn't be talking sports with men. Shut up and stay in the kitchen. But what's funny is he's basically sexualizing her. Oh, I kept my distance because I know what I'm capable of. A sexual harassment suit? What you capable of? What you gonna pin her down or something like Dynamo and damn Running Man? What you gonna do? Take it? Oh my God! What you gonna do? Offer her a bag? No, you're not that guy. You need to quit pretending to be what you're not. You're not the guy. Understand that you're not the guy. That's part of the problem right there. You keep thinking that you're bigger than what you are. I know what I'm capable of. She's going to be, who ate my food in the break room? All right with me. That was yours? Yeah, you know what I'm capable of. You going to put a name tag on that. It was a name tag. Oh, shit, I ate that. That was rapping. It tastes good. She gonna be checking for him. Like he's some guy that she gonna be checking out. I know what I'm capable of. I don't think she would be going. If you could have been the president of the entire network, she'd be like, you know what? That's all right. ESPN. I get your own show. That's all right. I'll take the hard road. I'll take the hard road. I'll grind it out and work my way up. Oh God, man, this is hilarious. Oh my goodness. So they're gonna let a sexist man who couldn't get these women, even if he paid, come there and tell them what's what. Oh my goodness, boy, I tell you. People are something else. They are something else with a delusion of grandeur. So anyway, thank you for the entertainment, Whitlock. I appreciated that today. See, I didn't call you Shitlock today. You should be happy. Shouts out to Kwame Brown Bus Life, Dreamers Pro, everybody out there, 78 Sports TV. Don't forget to support the Nate Jones story. You want to know anything about boxing, go on over there. And definitely shouts out to y'all, man. Y'all support my page. Go to the Patreon. Yeah, I have audio that you are going to want to hear on this Joy Taylor situation, her talking about it, that I think they finna try to erase and get rid of, but I got it, and it's gonna be on the Patreon. I don't want to mess nothing up and be in the middle of something by posting it on YouTube, so I'm gonna put it on the Patreon, so y'all can just check it out over there. All right, I'm out. One.
Hi, I'm Carcino.
Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it.